Hello guys, this is your Uncle Big Fish, and on this video we'll be discussing the Raven. This is actually one of the most requested showcase for the how good or how godly or how garbage actually series. This one is without a doubt the most broken class in the game, and we'll be putting that on a margin that, okay, look, there might be a class that's more broken in the arenas, for example, Wusa, than the Raven, but in terms of overall PvP, this class is the single strongest class in the game. And I think it's pretty obvious that this class is actually a very, very broken class, probably the most broken class in the game. And for that one, we'll be discussing her skill kits and everything else combined that makes this the strongest class in the game. Now, let's talk about the first skill. This is going to be Miasma. This is just like that. It's just a farming skill. It has no CC, it has nothing. But I would say it's quite respectable because the skill does have branches and it's a pretty good farming skill. For PvP, I don't recommend using the skill at all. It has no particularly good niche. The decreased attack speed slow is pretty minimal. It goes to 15%, so it's not like amazing or anything. Base power is pretty low as well. It gets like 7% times 3, so like 7. It's got like 2 hits. So 7 times 3, that's 21. 21 times... this is actually level 4, so it's actually really, really low base power. Yeah, probably a little bit under 1.8k at max values. Very, very low base power skill. Next will be Implosion. This is actually one of your best skills in the game. This thing actually has a knock-up, and it breaks forward guard if you turn this on. No enemy collision during the skill upon using fragments, which means that this thing is an anti-collision skill, thus it bypasses forward guard. A very, very strong skill. It also has a decent enough base power. I'll just do a rough calculation here for you guys, just so you guys know what we're going on with this. All right, so now this skill has a base power of 483. Sorry guys. 15% times 6, that's going to be 90. So the base power of this skill is going to be 90 plus 484, so 574 roughly. We'll multiply that by 3, so that's going to be 1500, 15.42, so 1542. That's the base power of the skill. The skill's base power isn't amazing, that's one thing. However, the niche of the skill is it's a knock-up, so it's the best out of the tier 4 CCs, including knockdown and bound. The class also has healing. This thing has a base heal of 3, so it has 3 hits. It has 3 hits and heals all the way up to, give me a second, so it's 110, that's 20, that's 15, so 135, 150, so like 150. You know what? What's gonna be much easier, we'll just take a look at the damage recovery numbers. I actually know about it, but I'll just have to you guys just see this one real quick. All right, okay, so we're just gonna go here and bam. That's actually very difficult to see. We'll see that one more time. All right, so that's probably around 3 instances of healing, so that goes all the way up to about 150. I think it's 150, right? 150. Yeah, it's 150. 150 times 3, so that's 450 base heal, which is not amazing or anything. However, what makes the niche pretty good is it has Seret, so it actually heals another 1.5% of your health. And in normal arenas, it'll probably heal around 600 extra, so making this a 1000. So 450 plus 600, so that's 1050 heal per heal. That's 50. That's 5-second cooldown. So yeah, very crazy healing on this skill. Yeah, 2 of them will give you upwards of 2,100%, 2,100 HP per heal. It breaks forward guard as well. Very low cooldown. Has 2 charges. Super good coverage. It breaks forward guard. Next will be Soul Siphon. This skill is also one of her best skills. The damage is not great, as you can see there, pretty much around similar damage as Implosion. However, this skill also has Serret. It has a homing skill, so this thing homes, yeah? This thing actually chases after the opponent. I'll just lock on this one so you can see. I'm gonna go all the way here, and as you see there, the skill is chasing the opponent. It chases for 1.3 seconds, so it's actually quite good, yeah? Alright, now this thing has 2 charges, 6-second cooldown, very low cooldown, has Serret, very long range, it chases and decreases AP, so this makes an enemy hit you for less damage. This is actually one of the best spamming skills, because 2 of them already heal you for about 1200 HP in normal arenas. It's quite amazing, and very low cooldown as well. So, two of these, that's 4 Serret skills. Very crazy stuff. Next will be Doom Vortex. This is pretty much your main stab. This thing deals the most damage out of your all of your other skills. Let's check how much base power it has. Alright. This thing has a base power of 478. Plus, this thing, how much does this get per level? This one gets another... So that's like... 5, 10, that's 483 minus 473, 478. That's 15% per level, so this is level 4, we'll get, so 15 times 6. That's gonna be 90. 90, we'll add that one to 478, so that makes the skill's base power 568. Let's call that 570. 570 times 4, so it's a 2.28, so about 2.3k% damage. It also has a boost. If you see here, it applies 30%, so you can add this by another 30%, making this 3000% damage skill. It also has some pretty good niches, because it has the Void Zone, and this thing deals extra damage. It's one of the best ones for sure. Also, the skill has increased DP. It has slow, which this thing stacks up pretty good, all the way to, I think, about 25%, if I recall correctly. I might be wrong, but I think it's around that number, yeah? This thing has a hip and Labrief branches as well. So, this skill has a pretty high base power. It's not like a super hard-hitting skill, but it has a pretty decent damage. 3000 base power, long range. This thing actually boasts as one of the highest range skill. So if I go all the way here, and then I cast the skill from about here, it'll still reach. Probably, give me a second, I'll just have to go like so. Like so, yeah? It has a very long range. One of the highest range in the game, if not the highest range skill in the game. This thing is pretty crazy, yeah? This Doom Vortex is pretty crazy. Plus, it has this one as well, as you see there. Deals extra damage. Alright. Next will be the skill Phantom Crash. This has iframe while casting and super armor while attacking. So what happens is you just jump like so. And if you see there, it has a pretty decent linger. You see there, yeah? It has a pretty decent linger. It's pretty fucking nuts. This skill has 2. What makes the skill really strong is this skill has 2 charges essentially, but it has only 1 cooldown. So you can use, like, say, let's just move over here because there's someone there. You can actually use this skill once, and then you will use some other skill, and then you can go back to using the skill again. Now that is what makes this skill fucking stupid. So it has a 5-second cooldown, but it essentially has 2 charges. So you can use one, you can use other skills, you can come back to it, and the cooldown will start rolling even after the first one. So essentially, if you run just a little bit, you will get the cooldowns of both of them up. It's absolutely broken, and this is the single mechanic in the game that makes this class broken. Now, imagine you have a 2-charge skill with only 1 cooldown. Now that is what's fucked up. And I think this is one of the things that makes it even more fucked up, because this thing has only 5-second cooldown, guys. Very, very short cooldown for such a mechanic. It's absolutely broken. Yeah, very, very broken stuff. Iframe during casting, so you won't get grabbed. This thing also breaks forward guard if you actually backhanded it. You can actually use this, and you can actually use this to behind, and that will actually break FG by going to the sides. That works as well. You can break the enemy from the rear using the skill as well. It has protection, so it's not really a risky move. You can do this like in front of someone, and it will have protection because it has iframe while casting. It has a decent linger as well, if you see there. Pretty decent linger. It does have bleed. It has reduced MP cost and increased DP. So this class have a lot of DP increasing buffs on the skills, making this class very, very tanky. Next will be Unholy Smite. This is pretty much your knockback skill. This thing doesn't really do amazing, I would say, but the damage is pretty good. I would say the damage of the skill is pretty nice, yeah? The damage is pretty good. If you see there, it's a 475. This thing gets like, let me just check real quick. This thing gets 23 per level, yeah, 23. 90. Let me check. Actually, it gets like another 0.60 plus, so probably like I would say 94 minus 75. That's 19 per level. So 19 times 6. That's 114. 114 plus 475. That's 589. 589. Multiply that by 6. So this is essentially a 3000 base power skill, yeah? 3000 base power skill. The Flow Frenzied Slash. So this is what it looks like without the flow. That's what it does, yeah? But if you get a flow, it does this. Alright? This thing deals a knockback on the first hit and knockdown on the last hit, same as the predecessor. However, it changes what it looks like. And it's just so-so, I would say, yeah? This thing is also your main stab, so it deals the most damage as well. So it's pretty respectable damage for a knockback skill. It has FG on the first attack and super armor on the last hit. However, it does not apply in the arenas, so that's something that's a bit of niche. The only thing that makes this skill hurt less is because it has no branches, so it gets no branch damage activation. However, the skill has pretty good niche. You can use this on a combo. It'll look pretty nice, alright? Next will be the skill Dark Shift. Now, this is your main bread and butter skill. This is broken, absolutely broken. The skill is exactly the same as a Phantom Crash. However, the difference is this skill goes backwards instead of forwards, and the skill is a pure iframe. It has no super armor during attacking. It's pure iframe, pure iframe. Now, the same thing is this thing also has the same mechanics as the stupid Phantom Crash. You can use the skill. It's pretty much a 7 cooldown skill with 2 charges with a single cooldown. So you can go like this, and then you use other skill, whatever, yada yada yada, and you can go back. That's exactly what I mean, and that's why it's fucking broken. Like, this skill is fucking broken. All right. I think what they need to do to balance this class out is to make this skill a 2-charge skill instead of making it like this, because I think that it's very deceptive. Like, you have a skill with two charges, but yet it's only 1 cooldown. That's fucked up. Like, that is actually fucked up. I don't know what they were thinking when they first designed that kind of mechanic into the game, but it's fucked up, especially when it's an iframe and it's a pretty much like a mobility skill. You can use this thing to actually move forwards, if that makes sense. You can actually do this. You can actually backhand this thing. You see that? It's actually a mobility skill, pure iframe. And in case you guys might think, oh, it's a pretty short skill. No, this thing has a pretty good linger. Look at this. You see there? It has a fucking good linger. It has a bit of linger after it lands. It has a bit of linger, and that's fucking messed up. Like, look at that. Like, dude, that is fucked up, man. Come on. I'll just show you here how long it lasts for maximum efficiency. That buys off about 1/3 of the cooldown. So it buys off about, give me a second, 7 divided by 3. That buys off 2.3 seconds. That's fucking messed up. That's a 7 cooldown skill. But here's the niche, guys. You can use this, and then you can use any other skill. And then you can just come back to it, and it buys off even more of the cooldown, because you can use another skill. That's fucked up. Like, that is actually fucked up, alright? Okay, I've said fucked up too many times. Alright, so that's pretty much what the skill does. The skill does break forward guard if you backhand a skill, like so. If you use this behind, if you use this thing through an enemy, this thing actually has an anti-collision, so you can actually go backwards from an enemy, and that breaks forward guard as well. And you have 2 of them, so yeah, it's fucking dumb. Alright, it has 2 charges because you can use this shard thingy. By the way, guys, don't need to bother about shard management. That's something some Raven player will say to you, like, oh, shard management is so hard. Okay, here, let me just show you this thing real quick, guys. All right, these skills use you know what, I'll just do that later once I've explained all the classes and the skills. Next will be Flashbang. This thing that days on hit has 1100 base power. It gets like 50 per level, so you can multiply that by 6, that's 50 times 6, that's 300, so 1.4k% damage. That's pretty much how much the skill does. Has added AP 60 for yeah, that's what it does. All right, only takes 1 charge of shard. It's pretty insane, and also has a slow. This thing slows all the way to I think 25%, if I recall correctly. Next will be Wrath of Chaos. Now, this Wrath of Chaos is an invincible skill while casting. And a lot of people might say, oh, it has no super armor in the arenas, right? Wrong. It has super armor in the arenas. That is what makes this skill fucking dumb. This thing has super armor in the arenas, guys. I'm not kidding. It has, alright? And here's what it does. Alright? So, while you're on the air, it gives you pure iframe, but it has no immunities in the arenas when it lands. But what you can do with it is, you can actually do this instead here. Give me a second, alright? You can actually do this instead. You can jump, and right before you land, you'll use your dark shift. So that buys off time. That's iframe, guys. That's an iframe. You can buy off time with that. Or if you're like trying to big brain this shit, you can actually do something like this. Look, you can actually use this, and you can teleport somewhere else aside from into the enemy. Alright? By the way, this is your main stat. Wrath of Chaos deals the most damage out of the rest of your skills. It has give me a second. This thing adds 12.5% of the Wrath of Chaos damage. So I think at max values, it will have 50% increase of your base power. Now, how much does this base power have? Let me check. All right, so 859. We'll just divide that by give me a second. This thing gets 885. So 885 minus 859. That's, wait, give me a second. 859 minus 885. That's 26% per level. 26%. 26. Multiply that by 6, so that's 156. 156, we're gonna add that to 156 plus 859. That's 1.1, multiply that by 2. So that's a 2000 base power skill, give or take. It also gets the extra 50% boost. So you're gonna add this another 50%, making this skill effectively a 3000 base power skill as well. Yeah, this thing has a 3000 base power skill, plus it also gives this Crow Zone. It gives like added damage, give or take. Yeah, it has added damage, plus it has Seret, so you can heal yourself and replenish your HP while you're invincible. Now that is where things go fucked up. That is pretty much where everything starts to, yeah, it goes full circle. This class effectively has 6 immunities in the arenas. That's way more than any other class in the game by itself. And what makes it worse is it has the cooldown of only 5. So it has 6 immunities in the arenas, but it only has 5 cooldown. Now that is even more fucked up. And this class is a range type class with pure invincible. A lot of them. It's got 1 on Wrath of Chaos, it's got 1 on Dark Shift, it's got 1 on Phantom Crash. Wrong, 2 on Dark Shift, right? Now, so this class effectively has 4 iframe skills and 2 super armor skills, 2 on Implosion, 2 on Implosion. This is super armor, but it heals. And then there is Phantom Crash. This thing has 1. The second hit does not have invincible in the arenas, so please do look forward to that one. It has no immunities in the arenas. At least the second hit does not, but the first one does. So 1 iframe here. There's 2 here and 1 here. So that's 4 iframe skills, 4 invincible skills, and 2 super armor skills. And the super armor skill heals and breaks forward guard. Yeah, pretty much this class has perfect coverage, so that's pretty messed up. Next will be the skill Shadow Eruption. Now this one is an instant knock-up skill. Has fucking good range as well, boasting one of the highest range in the game as well. I'll just put this right here. I'll target lock this one. I'll move backwards and I'll just use this. And as you see there, it knocks him down. Very, very high range skill, spammable, very spammable. Pretty good skill to cast from far away. It has pretty low cooldown, 7 seconds, pretty respectable. Deals a burn as well, and has slow. Yeah, so this class have good debuff. It has perfect coverage. It has good damage. It has good. It has a lot of iframes. It's got perfect immunity in the arenas. It's pretty fucking nuts. Yeah, it's perfect. Very perfect. Yeah, you guys might think, oh, this class must be pretty soft, right? Not really, and I'll just show that real quick. But first, let's just check the, this one's gonna be her buff skill. This thing increases critical hit chance by 10% upon using a skill. It also gives you 5 shards when you use it, and it heals 133 times 5. That's 665 HP every 2 seconds until 10 seconds. Now let's check the passive. Now, what does the passive do? Well, create 1 shard of darkness every 5 seconds passively, increases PvP damage dealt for 15 seconds when creating shard of darkness. And because you create shards of darkness when you use some skills, say like this one, but if you use a shard it does not have, but Implosion creates a shard of darkness when there's an unused shard of darkness. Now, this thing is fucked up, alright? There's actually more, that's not it, alright? Dark Shift creates 1 shard of darkness upon use, but if you have this, it'll consume 2. It doesn't really matter, because by the time you use all the bullshit, it'll already heal you back for everything. Shadow of Eruption also creates Shard of Darkness. Wrath of Chaos also creates Shard of Darkness. So pretty much, you can just use whatever the fuck you want and the shard will never run empty. So that's a deception. There is no shard management in the game anymore. There is no such thing, alright? And it's in the current meta, in the current game, Raven has no shard management. You can just spam whatever the shit you want, it doesn't matter, alright? So this is pretty much bonkers, Shard of Darkness. There's no shard management. Everything you can just cast like a fucking idiot. It doesn't matter, alright? Next, consume Shards of Darkness to apply skill effect. And when it happens, you have PvP damage reduction. 10% for 15 seconds. Okay, look, so this class of 10-10, in terms of PvP damage reduction and PvP damage dealt, it has a lot of DP enhancements on a lot of skills. This one increases DP, Doom Vortex, Dark Shift has nothing. Phantom Crash, this thing gives DP as well. So yeah, this class is fucking tanky, guys. I'm not kidding. It's very, very tanky. Yeah, this class is very tanky. Alright? It's pretty messed up. Now, this is pretty much why the class is broken. The class have everything. It's got everything. It's got a lot of sustain. It's very tanky. It has a lot of damage. It has a lot of poke. It's got a lot of iframes. Perfect coverage. That is pretty much why this class is broken. Because one, it can just kite you around non-stop. This thing has pretty much perfect, like, it's pretty perfect. Like, you can move indefinitely with this thing, alright? This thing is without any form of fucking, like, I'm not even thinking when I'm using all of this shit. Give me a second, alright? Just use this, boom, it goes like this, and go like that, go like that, and go like that, and you can go like this. I think I should probably turn on the Wrath of Chaos, this one, yeah? You can actually hold the skill after that one. Give me a second. Right, you can use this, like this, like this, like this, like this. If you see my shard, I'm not exactly losing any fucking shards there. If you see, yeah, I'm not losing anything, man. Like there's no, I'm not losing out on anything. Like my immunities just stay up constantly. My shards are almost always like replenished. Yeah, this is pretty much like what. This is pretty much Raven in a nutshell. It's a fucking broken class. Like there's no doubt about it. This class is fucking broken. You can just do that. Yeah, pretty much. All right. It's just fucking bonkers. Yeah, just some broken shit. Very, very broken shit. Yeah. Yeah, this thing is pretty messed up. Yeah, if you see there. Yeah. Man, this class is fucking messed up. Holy shit. Well, this is pretty much Raven in a nutshell. It's a fucking broken class, and I've said that probably around 26 times in the whole video. It's been 26 minutes of me wasting your time, so I'm just gonna move it along. Today I have Surtur, who's gonna be playing the Raven for you guys, because I refuse to hold this class. It's fucking busted. Surtur is, yeah, the winner of Riptide, and also the self-proclaimed best player in BDM. If he loses, it's a lie. Alright, so, I hope you guys enjoyed the Raven, video, the Raven, discussion part of this video, and let's just enjoy the best player in BDM, self-proclaimed, of course, Surtur. Enjoy.